Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope you're doing well on this fine Wednesday. Today's September 18th, 2024. Halfway through yet another week already. Crazy. Hope it's going well for you, that you are finding time to rest, rejuvenate, and reflect as we're still in the thick of this full moon energy. Let's see what we got today without further delay. Three of Wands. Looking forward to something. We're planning ahead. Having great expectations on account of a plan that was made ahead of time. So just at face card value off the top, maybe you're expecting something to come in soon, a package, a person, an opportunity, a message. I just heard an approval, maybe some money, something at face value, something good to look forward to, great expectations. You would be justified to maintain this posture of expectancy or, pretty much. Because with the Three of Wands, it's an indication that there was a plan beforehand at the Two of Wands, which would ultimately justify what one has to look forward to. But again, face value. So let's see what's underneath. Yeah, could be. Definitely emphasis on the money, maybe even some disbursement of payments, like increments of a payment, or just a gift altogether with the Six of Pentacles. Did I say Six of Wands? I think I did. Six of Pentacles could be a gift. Definitely something, I would say something that has the potential to bring some balance and stability. Something that I feel like there's something that's been, some part of me feels like it's something that's been high anticipation, but it also feels like there's some layer of mystery over this as well. Like, or whomever, but somebody's expecting something, but they're not 100% sure how this gift, let's say, or whatever this package or delivery is going to be packaged. They don't really know what the wrapping or what this may look like on site. But it's something like you'll know it when you sense it, but it's like you're expecting something, but you don't even know exactly what it is, or like something is coming in, but you don't know what it's going to look like, or you don't know all of the specifics of the contents. And I feel like in this case, it leaves room to be pleasantly surprised, I feel like, because whatever is anticipated, especially given that I referenced the Two of Wands, to me, that feels like what you may have a plan or may be able to conceptualize as a return on something or some gift or whatever probably is going to be greater than what your expectations are. And we love that, especially if it's something good. And in this case, with the Six of Pentacles, more or less, it should be. Oh my gosh, and look at this. Look at this and look at this. You know what? Matter of fact, yeah, that's so funny. Here's the Two of Wands. He said, well, you spoke me up. Here I am. So there is the plan. But see how like he's looking off in the one direction, and although generally speaking, it's not an indication of having a small, like a limited perception or perspective. I feel like sometimes when I see the world in his hands and it's so small, that scale, sometimes is significant to me. That even with your greatest plan, or, like you could have dotted every I and crossed every T to put yourself in alignment for a reception that would, like I said, that would justify having something to look forward to, and still not be prepared for the magnitude of which it's coming in. And look at this. As a matter of fact, as I'm chit-chatting, this is the next progression in this here with the 7. Wow. And then the Ace of Swords. What are we talking about here? This is a long-term investment. So this could be something, like I said, like it could be on account of somebody's investments that are now, like, you can cash in, or something has grown, maybe a savings that you left untouched, or it doesn't feel like it's something that's in your possession though. It feels like something that may have appreciated in value, that's coming from a distance or from some outside source, that is definitely a sign to someone specifically, but it's bigger than what someone could have anticipated, if they even knew what to anticipate. So like let's just say, for instance, hold on. Ooh, thought I had to sneeze. It was right there too. Let's just say, all right, I'll use this as an example, but it seems a bit primitive. But anyways, let's just say you're expecting an inheritance, and you don't really know. Is that it? I don't know. It's something that is assigned to you, to someone, like has their name on it. It's like an account or something like that. Or there's some fund, let's say it was reserved at a time. Maybe something that was passed down to you that you didn't know about, and it's been sitting somewhere just pretty much accumulating interest and appreciating in value, or some stock that has appreciated that you didn't even know was in your name, or like some stake in a company, or some investment that was made that you didn't directly, whatever the return is, it's not given it as something that you may have necessarily had your hand in or hand on, but there's some direct line of return that still is valid, like I said, whether it's an inheritance or somebody opening something in your name or leaving something in your name, whatever it is, it definitely has not only grown in value, it has the potential to create stability in one's life, and it has growth potential for the future. Like this could even be something where it's, like disbursements of payments, but there's like, because with the Seven of Pentacles, he's harvesting one pentacle, but there's still seven in the bush. So it's like where you may get a couple thousand or whatever, let's not cap it, but millions, hell, why not, at a time. But then there's some revolving payments that are reoccurring payments where it's set up for you to get another disbursement, say in a year or 6 months or 5 years or 10, like, like almost like, okay, almost like a, as if it was like an annuity lottery win. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't get the cash option, you got the annuity and you get some every year. Now that ain't really appreciating with value. That is what it is. And, Uncle Sam takes his bit off the top. So I don't necessarily think it's something like that, but it could be. It feels like something that is secure though, because with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like it's there. It ain't going nowhere. As long as your name is on it and you're present to collect, and in this case, even to establish perhaps a beneficiary that gets to collect beyond your years, if it be so, then, there's really like no cause for alarm or it's like some money troubles are dissipating in some way, shape, or form. This is some type of long-term, it gives long-term investment, but I'm seeing long-term return on an investment of which you probably didn't even make personally. There's got to be some energetic connection to why you've been established as the recipient or beneficiary with the wand energy. That's why I'm saying energetic connection. But, whatever it is, it's legit. It's legit and it's secure. All right, so that's cool or whatever. Interesting way to start with the Ace of Swords. So some information that could be coming, like new information or a notice, email, letter, maybe official document, something, something that's coming through and coming straight to you. Like you wouldn't be able to miss it if you tried. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Yeah, because I'm seeing here with the Six of Pentacles, there could have been some middleman action on these disbursements. Like somebody that may have kind of been, and he's holding the scales. There could have been somebody taking the liberty to, to govern over something that just more or less wasn't rightfully theirs to control. And, they either assigned themselves or could have been even by some type of court faction or another assigned to make decisions on how these resources were dispersed, if at all, you know what I mean? But whatever it is, it feels like could have been some middleman energy that could have been creating a wedge in between this flow that, for whatever it's worth, like I said, somebody's been, and it could just generally be like the collective general expectation of something new coming through, like knowing that something's breaking right now, something's coming through, you've been working too hard, planning too hard ahead, diligent in your plan and focused, driven, you keeping your passions pure, keeping your mind clear, staying true to yourself, that has a reward. It just does, because it's about the energy that you are investing, if nothing else, and that ultimately materializes as a physical or tangible return. So it could be that as well, but whatever it is, like I said, it's going to exceed expectations. It's going to exceed even what you plan for, even what you work for. It's going to transcend any obstructions or interferences, even blockages that may have been encountered up until this point of release. And it's going to be something that is sustainable for an extended amount of time beyond the initial reception. So, all right, let's see what we got. Ooh, Two of Swords in reverse. I wonder if you saw how that fell over on my knee. Pardon me. Goodness. Well, I mean, in one sense, that could speak to the blockages being removed, that there no longer is, like I said, this wedge between you. Matter of fact, let's do this so I can get a couple more cards. Between whomever and this flow, like Two of Swords in the upright could be a blockage or being blocked or someone blocking you, but more or less there being a blockage from some receptive energy, or some flow of energy. Maybe even a flow of information with the Swords card, so that there it is. Like I said, with the Ace of Swords, it's coming straight to you, and it's like official, like an official document that can maybe even something that has to be placed in your hands, or there's something that you have to be present for to receive or get the information of. It may not be as willy-nilly as just like an email or a phone call or text message. Something that could be intercepted, more or less. This could be like literally, what is it called? Like certified mail or whatever, or some type of certified or like official carrier of sorts that actually needs a signature before they can hand off this information. It could be something so serious that is that, you know what I mean? Or it could be an invitation to come to some, something that requires your presence, or, like it's something official, basically, is what I'm saying. And with the Two of Swords in reverse, you're not gonna miss it. It's not gonna miss you. Can't be any more interferences or interruptions with this transfer of information, energy, wealth, resources, property, whatever it is. It has to go through the proper channels in a protected sense to make its way to you. Let's see what's on the bottom. Oh, wow. Off the top, I get that it feels like somebody may not be too pleased about that. What's on the bottom? Yeah. Where they were quite pleased when there was, yeah, that's what it's given. Look at his hat and look at his hat, if you can see. Where somebody took a great deal of pleasure in being a middleman or being the recipient of something, like they were getting their fill of whatever it was. This literally could have been somebody that was taking liberty to collect benefits, finances, or something that belonged to somebody else. And that could even be on a broader scale. Literally could be somebody that was doing something shady and advancing on account of others' misfortune. And they were pleased to do it, having a great time. And here, not so much, because whatever it was that they were benefiting from is no longer an option. It's not an open road, it's not open season to just take until your heart's, until you've had your fill, or till your heart is content in this case. So somebody now is like, or some folks now in general are now are finding themselves more or less at a dead end. It's like trying to go to the ATM and you get that good old declined or insufficient funds message, and you had no expectation for that. I don't know why I'm getting that at this moment, but yeah, damn. And but you didn't, like, you don't know why. It's one thing when you like, let me see what I got, maybe not all of us have been there, but I damn sure have. Where you almost don't want to check your balance. But this is somebody that may have gone to make a withdrawal, and this could even be energetically, now that I'm saying it how I'm saying it, but they went to make a withdrawal, and they get that, when you get that, you hear that slip coming out and it ain't the money, that's a scary feeling. When you expecting them bills to spit out, and instead you get that white slip to say, you ain't got it. That's what it's giving here. Somebody's looking at their receipt like, what? Like they went to the ATM just knowing they were straight, and walking away looking at that receipt like, when you look at that receipt, you be looking so hard like somehow that one line that tells you all that you need to know is going to speak to you in some profound way and explain to you how it is that you ain't got it. You know what I mean? Like it's just as plain and black and white that what you thought you wanted to take out is not what's available to you. And given this full moon energy, it could even be something in a mystical sense with people doing what they do best in a diabolical sense, and expecting to yield a great return because the energy is so intense, and coming up short or coming up with nothing at all, especially not what was anticipated, to withdraw or to siphon or manipulate, project, whatever the intention was. It ain't given what was expected in this case. Well, that's another confirmation. And look, yeah, because it's too much wisdom in the game at this point, or awareness at least. But with the Queen of Swords, it's definitely a bit more on the foresight and insight than it is just like general knowledge. Like this is somebody that definitely, that's not so easily finessed. This would be somebody that already has certain security measures in place. Like if she loses her bank card, I mean, this is kind of, whatever. But anyway, maybe she banks with a organization, that an institution that is well secured, like not just the regular securities where it's like you get a little bit of your money back, but it's secured in a much higher, on a much higher scale, like certain type of private banking that is not even, advertise, like you got to know somebody to get up in there. I don't know why I'm saying all this, but anyway, this is somebody that has security measures in place, that knows how to protect their assets, literally and figuratively, that knows that moves with wisdom and in truth. So they're proactive about their security. Their eyes are open, they are alert. So that would be the worst nightmare of someone that's looking to scam or get over or take something that doesn't belong to them from someone like this, who they expected to be in the Two of Swords and the upright, but in fact, are actually advanced in an even greater sense to be, or maybe it's somebody that expected for defenses to be down, or perceived defenses to be down in a certain type of way, but actually didn't recognize there was a greater detail of security than what they could see, or what they could perceive at a distance or from their vantage point, Let's see. Whoa, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, like I said, somebody really protecting their assets, their energy, and obviously having great protection. Yeah, this is a great deal to secure here. Like this, this is something. Yeah, when you have this much of a resource at your disposal, you ain't, like I said, this is figurative that I'm saying this, but you're not just banking at TD. Maybe you might have some money in there or whatever, but this is like literally having a trust somewhere secured, and maybe even, like I said, having a private bank, banking with some type of private institution that's invitation only or referrals only or something like that. This is having an accountant or somebody that manages your money for you and makes sure that you're all good and you're all protected. This is not somebody that, this is somebody that has a heightened, hyperactive security detail on all of their electronic footprints, like their computer, their home, their phone, like everything that could be a vulnerable entry point is safeguarded. And this could even be, like, honestly, how I'm saying it, this could be much more obviously than money, especially with the Ace of Cups. This could even be somebody guarding their heart like that, knowing how precious their love is, and being extremely selective and objective in how they invest that energy with others, however they allow it to be, if they allow it to be tapped into or, exchanged, if they choose to gift it, and, very clear on how so. Six of Pentacles, that's the exchange energy there. Thinking for the long term in the future, not immediate gratification with the Seven of Pentacles. This is somebody that is very clear about how precious of a commodity their love, and also, because I'm looking at that dove at the top of the cup, their peace being a premium commodity that is like Fort Knox, locked down like Fort Knox. that anything that even approaches that looks like it could be a threat is turned away. There's like a security, like an alarm system. Like this is somebody that keeps their heart and and their peace in a gated community locked down. Like soon as you got to have a badge of honor at that to even get through the security gate. You got to have a special access code, and that could come by way of how you talk, your track record, what you do with your time, your energy, how you treat others, how you love yourself, like all of those things. And certainly somebody, look, this is the Nine of Wands. This person is outside of the gates. There's no end. With the Two of Swords in the reverse, they thought that they could just walk up and they'd be welcome. But no. This is somebody that is very, very serious about protecting their peace and guarding their heart. That's what that's giving right there. And good for you. Yeah, look at this, Eight of Wands, because not only look at this. This is the energy that was projected, I would say, from this Nine of Wands, where someone thought that they could, you know what this is? This is multiple attempts. That's what I just heard. So imagine somebody at the ATM, back to that example, you get that first white slip and you like, nah, ain't no way. Maybe I put the wrong number in. Like they wouldn't even give you a slip if you put the wrong number. They'd say you got the wrong pen, you know what I mean? But somebody was in denial, like, no, I know that it's more for me to have than that, or I know that there's money in this account. Or they start trying other accounts, i.e. in this case, other methods to get through to this treasure, this resource, this, I don't even know what it's called, this bank, this inheritance, to have access to an insurance policy. Could even be something like that. It's like somebody's like, I know that, and it could be a matter of identity too. That's the issue as well with the Two of Swords in reverse. It could literally be somebody trying to access an account because I keep making reference to an institution. It could even be somebody that's trying to access, maybe even do like a wire transfer or something like that, and it's like, sir, you're gonna actually have to come in because we're not able to do this over the phone. Then you come in and you think child, it's something funny going on here, and access ultimately is denied. Whether we're talking about this on a mystical scale, on an actual and practical scale, what someone has been used to helping themselves to, or with what multiple people have been used. Some people have been used to just helping themselves to your good energy. Some people have been used to helping themselves to your time and your compassion, your understanding, your forgiveness, even your peace of mind. Literally, that's what this is. The Queen of Swords, the Ace of Cups could be your peace of mind, that they're used to being able to create a disturbance, project some disturbance onto that and transfer that energy to themselves. Here's the attempts here. And it's just, especially with this new moon, it was probably a lot of that. And it could have either been multiple attempts, or it could have been a collaborative effort of attempts, of people, either collectively or maybe it's sparse, and you got multiple people that would like to, chip away at you or take a piece of you, and for their own personal motives, whatever it is. It's just like however someone has ultimately protected themselves and been proactive in that protection, it's not, there's no point of access. There's no point of entry. There are no funds available to this person. The identification is not valid and accepted to gain entry into someone's inner sanctum. Their attempts to do so, not only have they failed, but they've also backfired, which is the reason for going from the 8 to here, the 9 of Wands here, where somebody definitely, not only is this a completion of a cycle of which someone could have been used to just literally just calling it in, raking it in, literally picking up the phone and calling in a wire transfer. They're at a great loss here with the nine of Wands. Or used to projecting negativity onto you and, disrupting your peace and absorbing it for themselves, calling it in that way for themselves. However this gets to be, and it seems like it could be all of those things with the 8 of Wands. It could be people that have been targeted in every way, shape, and form. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your creativity, your intellectual property, your expertise, or like your it could even be your reputation. I'm getting, because the Queen of Swords is generally an honorable woman, someone that's well respected, especially for her intelligence, and her expertise in a certain field or craft. So that could have been preyed on. Literally your financial stability, certainly to deter any future stability, forget you having enough to get by in the moment, I should say forget having some to save and put away for a rainy day, when you have to focus on just maintaining, keeping your head above water, paycheck to paycheck. In some cases, some people didn't even want that. For others, it's like they would want to take you down to the 5 of Pentacles if at all possible, or certainly, again, maintain some control over how much you do get to have, or how for how long, or by what means, you know what I mean? Like, people, it's ridiculous. Like, definitely some obsession with control and dominance here, now that I'm seeing it for all that I'm seeing it as. But it was a very limited mindset, probably a well thought out plan, that had its advantages for a time. But the scope of it all, as I said, with the 2 of Wands, is sometimes it can be like a small world perspective, where someone may think that they've got it all covered. But first of all, when you're operating in the lowest of lows, there's always going to be something that you miss. Or there's always going to be something that catches up with you at some point in time. And that's what this 9 of Wands from the 8 of Wands energy is. All right, so moving on. All right, let's see. Wow. Queen of Pentacles. Rich bitch vibes. Yeah, so somebody was definitely identified to be a sugar mama of sorts, or maybe a sugar daddy, however you see it. Could have been somebody, it could, in the masculine energy, in this same frequency, it could just be somebody really, really generous and nurturing, pretty much give you the shirt off their back type of energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. But in any regard, there's definitely an indication of wealth here, even in creativity or time or talent, anything of the sort that would have made somebody a prime target. Look at this shit. A prime target for scam or for, what is it? To be scammed or to be, what's the other word that I heard? Robbed or, yeah, I guess robbed. I don't know. It's like somebody had plenty. What I just felt is like somebody was revered, or some have been revered to pretty much have so much that they wouldn't miss it. That's what I'm getting here with the Queen of Pentacles. Like, she ain't gonna miss it, or that it whatever it is, it would be more, it would be better put to use, which is crazy. Like, how could you make that determination of someone else's stuff, whatever it is? But whatever it is, it'd be better put to use in their hands or under their control, their governing, than it would be in whomever it belongs to. Like, what? It just sounds like a crazy ass justification for somebody just, like I said, just taking liberties that they have no right to. It could even be like I'm getting Britney Spears vibes, like where her dad and folks, her whole camp pretty much, but spearheaded by her father, no doubt, decided that she wasn't mentally or psychologically fit to handle the money that she worked for, that she performed for, that she created for, that she invested countless hours of rehearsing and singing and recording and traveling and so on and so forth to acquire, for somebody else to step in and say, oh no, you too crazy. But the gotcha is that they were making her crazy. That's the real smack in the face, is that they were making her crazy with all types of drugs and, mind fucking her to death almost, and then using that to justify a case for how she's not fit to manage her own resources and her own finances, and that someone, i.e. her father, needs to be the one in place to make those decisions. And we saw how that went down. Well, eventually, when it all was revealed, that she was pretty much getting pennies on the dollar of what she earned, and was being controlled and wasn't given the liberty to spend or even move around the way that she wanted to. Like, what type of shit, yo? Like, the audacity. And that could, again, that's energetic too. It's very mystical, ladies and gentlemen. Just like for her, it was psychological as well. It's deeper than what she probably even realizes at this point, because she saw it more about the money and the control factor, but the deep psychological work, root work that was inflicted upon her is something that she still hasn't 100% healed from, because that's the hardest part to recover from. The wounds, that you can't see, and the ones that you can't even really feel. You can't put your finger on it anyway, because it's so deep rooted that you don't even really know where to start. And that's why, it's unfortunate that, people can sit back and after her case was, won and everything, and look and be like, well, maybe she wasn't all right. She probably ain't all right yet. If she ever gets to be all right, unfortunately, because those tentacles are still in her subconscious. And unless you are aware of how deep and dark witchcraft and dark magic and manipulation and projection of other psychosis onto you and narcissistic abuse and all of those like deep, dark entities of energy goes and roots, you wouldn't know how to really free yourself and release it. It would literally have to be by the grace of God to restore your peace, especially to this order. So it's one thing to have found your way to this, which is understandable as to why those that have are, like really aggressively protective over it, because nobody would want to willingly defer their peace of mind to anyone anymore when you've worked really hard to reclaim it and retain it. That becomes the most precious thing to you in all of the earth and of all your existence, once you know what it is not to have it, and when you know how precious it is when you do. So I don't know why I said that about Brittany, but I definitely hope she finds her way to healing holistically one day. I mean, maybe I'm already speaking it for her, or it's something that's already happening, but I'm just saying, I know that it's not as easy as just give me my money type of energy, or let me drive in my car with my boyfriend, because really what happened to her is there was just a transfer of that control energy from her father to who she thought she could trust, and that husband or boyfriend or whatever he was, that ultimately just became another handler. And you can't really see that on the inside as clearly as you can from the outside looking in, especially when you can relate to it, So anyway, with the Four of Cups, here's yet another rejected energy, though, because like I said, and perhaps just universally, the shift that's occurring even through this full moon energy and this eclipse energy is what could be doing the work for all of us on some level that we can't do for ourselves, and that's a blessing, one way or another. That's a major gift. Because how else can you move forward, into this bliss that you so rightfully deserve without releasing the residue of trauma, and a toxic past. But here it is, it's almost like something being purged out of the system. Maybe the system of the matrix, the system of social order as it is, or societal order to some degree, maybe on a very personal level for those that can feel me on what I'm saying, that these energies that have been kind of operating more as like a leech, as like vampiric, as moochers, manipulators, handlers, slave masters, you know what I mean? All of that, whatever it's been, is there. It's like it's being purged from the system, and it's also being rejected to re-enter. That's the Four of Cups here. What's on the bottom? And they're trying to hold on to for dear life, but not really having much leverage to do so anymore. This could even be like I was saying about Brittany, like how her dad held on to the bitter end until, I don't even know what made him give it up, but honestly, I think it really came down to him striking some deal of exchange with the husband to relinquish control, so to speak, but still be able to manage it through his influence over that dynamic, or through his presence in some way, shape, or form. Maybe that's something that's I don't know. Maybe it's about to be something in the news about Brittany. Lord help her. But anyway, it's just and it's just holding on to dear life, that energy of control and tyranny and down, you know what I mean? Like all those frequencies that I just named. What else does it have to hold on to? Imagine. Brittany's dad, how's he making money? Because after all of that exposure, would you trust him to manage your career? If you didn't trust him before, you sure wouldn't trust him after everything was exposed. He probably couldn't get anybody to pick up his calls in his Hollywood circles anymore. So how is he making a living? Interesting question, right? Not really, because I could care less, but I'm just saying, theoretically, like after the well, really he ultimately dried up the well that probably would have been endless between himself and his daughter if he would have treated her well. And now, he dried it up trying to control the flow, and now, like, what could you possibly... And I don't even think she's married anymore. At least I know there was some trouble in paradise at some point. So if he did have an end with the husband, I don't think he does anymore. So it's like somebody's kind of sitting on the sidelines, feeling quite regretful at this point because they kind of cut off their nose to spite their face. And now they can't smell nothing. Now they can't even smell the roses. Yeah, look at this. Having to find ways to defend themselves or protect themselves from what? Let's see. Oh, from a higher power. This is giving judgment, and it's like the judge. I don't call this the God card as much as some do, but it's definitely a representation of a higher power, a higher authority. In this case, it could very much so be against judgment, whether it be of a spiritual nature, or actually like somebody having to answer for their actions in a court of law. So whomever was interfering, whoever was stealing, whomever was assuming someone else's identity, perpetrating a fraud, stealing, siphoning energy, projecting negative energy, like manipulation, all of that good stuff. Could even be, tarnishing somebody's reputation, because that's also a form of witchcraft, honestly. Gossip and speaking on someone, whether it be lies or truth, that's a negative projection that you would have to answer for at some point in time. And it looks like this is the reckoning here with the Seven of Wands, and it's given that somebody would even have to, damn, that'd be crazy if somebody like what's his name? I think his name is Jamie Spears, her dad, would have to go to court to answer for something. And after all this time and all the access and wealth that he had at his disposal, you'd have to have a public defender because you can't even afford a lawyer. And I think actually her mom had that issue at some point. Like the mom couldn't afford a lawyer for something back when that case was going on, and she was asking for money to pay her legal fees or something like that. But anyway, that's crazy, right? But the trouble you created for yourself, now you can't even afford to see your way out of. It's like, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Probably not. When you could have your daughter, hella wealth, a happy family, a happy life. It's just some people's obsession with control on account of their own insecurities is what it comes down to. That's the Nine of Wands, that you wouldn't be so insecure in yourself and what you have to offer, and measuring your esteem on how you can control someone else's life or manipulate someone else's energy. At some point, that's going to be literally Two of Swords or two in reverse, whatever the case may be. Like at some point, that well will run dry. You can only run on the fuel that you stock up for yourself and of yourself. You can't run on anybody else's energy forever. And it's crazy that people that had the audacity to try in the first place actually thought that it would be eternal. I guess because it's been so long and it's been such a well-oiled machine up until now, it never really there never really was an indication that it wouldn't be, and that was on account of people being underestimated. Like I said, Two of Wands, Two of Swords in reverse, there being an underestimation of how aware people would become or ever be, how protected they would become, how wise they would evolve to be, how secure with themselves and secure of themselves they would become, how the value of life would change drastically for them, or it would just be, they would find it would be just completely different than what they value, which is in this case money and material and power. It's just like, what are we doing here? So anyway, somebody may be finding themselves having to answer for themselves, and good luck on that. It really has nothing to do with you, because at the top of all of this, like I said, what's for you is coming to you if you relate to the higher frequency of this story, of course. So it's nothing that you gotta really do about it. There's nothing you need to worry about, because even still, like, you can't miss what you don't have, you know what I mean, or what you haven't had up until this point. So it's nothing to be anxious or eager about. Whatever it is, however it finds its way to you, it'll be divinely ordered, and however justice gets to be served on account of what was unfair or unlawful is already done. There's literally nothing for those that have been operating in the most upright of energy, for anyone to stress about. It's just like I said, you can keep a great expectation knowing, like, again, that you have put in work to justifiably expect results. You just have no idea how great those results are actually about to be. You have no idea. And some folks have no idea the same for themselves on the work that they put in, but just in a lower frequency. But everybody is going to get what they deserve, and then some. And that's a fact. You can take that to the bank. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Wow. Do I even need to? I don't want to. And yep, that's the last card. I was like, is that something behind it? Wow. All things are being made balanced and equal. Like I said, everybody will get what they deserve. So if you've been investing in this energy, that's the rate of return. This is the return and reward you're going to receive for your investment. And it, at this point, has grown in dividends for you. Like, it's appreciated with interest. Same for if you've been investing in this energy, in the temperance. Balance, peace, again, patience, self-control, valuing the things of the spirit, being mindful of how you treat yourself and treat others, keeping your carnal obsessions at bay or non-existent as much as you possibly can, like really healing those wounds at as deep of a level as you can possibly go with intention, instead of allowing yourself to stay on the surface and really like self-soothe or self-medicate, numb yourself to the deeper infliction. It's like having a great pain at your core and just smoking weed, to numb yourself out. Like, yeah, it definitely is a relief agent, especially for those with pain at a certain level, but it's not the cure. You still have to cure what's ailing you if you can. Numbing yourself is just coping and managing, for a time so that you can keep yourself from feeling what is already there, and without remedy or without great attention and treatment is only going to continue to grow. Temperance is like the healing energy, like the treatment, the self-care, the love, the calling in your spiritual support system for the things that you don't feel you have access to I'm trying to find another word for remedy. Like when you're not treat, but anyway, I'm spending way too much time on this because on something that's really self-explanatory, because you see the stark difference here. It ain't hard to make a choice at this point just off of face value alone, if you ask me. Just as if all the scales from the eyes were falling off, there is no veil, you're not blinded by the illusions of money, power, influence, ego, pride, lust, all these things that are well stocked here in this frequency, and you just see it for exactly as it is and what it is. It's not a hard choice. It really isn't. It's the illusionary stuff, like what it is trumped up to be, or disguised as, how it's made to look more appealing and more enticing and seductive and alluring. Those aspects of a thing that you wouldn't really choose if you were given the opportunity to see it in its raw form. That's all it is. And I'm feeling like we're in the age where that's all that's left. The illusions, That's why it's so hard to really self-soothe anymore, and even to delude yourself that you are content with things that your soul is not. Like even the flesh is not going for it anymore at this time. So it's like everybody's being given the choice to face facts and face reality for exact. So there's no excuse anymore of ignorance, that you didn't know, you didn't see, you weren't aware, nobody told you, you know what I mean, you thought it was something else, you didn't know it was this or that. It's like everything is crystal clear, or becoming so. Maybe that's kind of the point of even this transit, that things are becoming crystal clear. There's revelation for even the deepest mysteries of life that are being transmitted one way or another. So it's undeniable. It's like, and when you have the information, you're responsible for it at a certain point. At that point, once you're completely clear and aware, you can no longer claim anything but your own accountability and responsibility for what you do after that. Hell, you still got to answer for what you did when you claim you didn't know no better. That's up to the Supreme Court to judge what is true and what isn't. Like, you know what I mean? But you certainly, after now seeing it all for what it is, looking at that bank statement, looking at your own harvest, looking at, your levels of peace in your life, the level of love that you have access to from the inside, how you feel about yourself day to day, your level of enthusiasm for life, just getting up every day and starting fresh. You won't be able to deny Ace of Swords in the very beginning of this reading, the truth from a soul level. There's just no space for it, and there's no excuses anymore. So anyway, I felt like that wasn't even for the most of people that are probably listening to this message in the highest frequency. You already know. Your challenge, should you choose to accept it, is just to keep your eyes on the prize. Don't get too anxious and eager about anything that you have a so-called expectation for. Just keep your expectations and your hopefulness open and don't even limit it. As a matter of fact, stay open to receive beyond your wildest expectations, because 9 times out of 10, whatever you try to limit it to has the potential to, be just that. But if you can just keep your perspective open to something good is in store, and you still crystallizing, in visualization, how that could look, or more, I think is a safer bet, is to really cultivate the feeling of how you get to be, knowing that everything that you could conceive of in your wildest dreams is already so. How does that feel right now in the present moment? That's really the only responsibility you had. And trust me, that's easier said than done. Just as hard as it can be to maintain your peace of mind in a world that ultimately seeks to destroy it at every turn. But if you can ground yourself in the emotional intelligence of bliss and fulfillment, peace, love, happiness, light, joy, even, that's the best thing that you could do for yourself at this time. Better than any activity you could go run out and do to feel it accomplished, achieved, successful. In this moment, it matters most the feeling that you are assuming and asserting than it does per se the action. So take that as you will. Like I said, it's easier said than done. It's certainly a hard concept to internalize when we've been conditioned on everything else, but try it out, affirming the frequency of feeling that you choose for yourself without lifting a finger, and see if that doesn't shift some things for you in the next few days or so. I challenge you on that. All right. So anyway, thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.